Good morning, YouTube. And it's a beautiful fall day. And back from Tennessee, not going to be in the Black Hills very long. And I do have some really exciting news. Good morning. With exciting news always comes the oppression, the principalities, right? Always trying to fight to destroy. And you know what? Satan is ramping up his game now more than ever. And you just see it everywhere. I see it with the people that I talk to. They're going, most of you are going through battles. And yeah, I'm going through my own battles. Because Satan doesn't want this kingdom work to be completed, to be done. He wants us to reject God. He already has who he has, But it's really us who are out here delivering the message that he just is insistent now. So even though this is a beautiful morning and I have great news, the great news is really coming at a big price. It's coming at a big price. And I really need prayers. Me and Chris really need prayers for our ministry work, because going forward, I don't know if it's going to go forward. I'm just being honest. I told Chris I was going to make a video about my big announcement, and I am, but I need prayers, because with any big announcement right now, the bullseye is getting so big on my back and on Chris's back. And the Lord the other day brought me a really powerful it's really powerful video, actually. And I don't watch videos, but a friend of mine told me to watch it. The Lord had been telling me all week about fasting, and I'm like, what do you need me to fast for? Do you need me to fast for this ministry? Do you need me to fast for repentance? And the fast actually was about when Jesus fasted. He didn't fast because he was repenting. Moses didn't fast because he was, but he fasted and he prayed. And the fast was in response to a sacred event, something that is so sacred, something that where you're looking at God, what God is doing. He's doing something big in your life, big, and you stop and you fast for 24 hours to recognize it. There's something big happening in my life and Chris's life when it comes to this ministry and just who we are. And the gentleman who was giving the presentation talked about Paul and Barnabas, and they were it was a life-changing event for both of them, two of them. And so they went to the church and they fasted and they prayed, and then they went out. And then after they fasted and prayed, guess what happened? They became great missionaries, and they planted churches all over. It was the biggest time in church history for Paul and Barnabas. I think it was Paul and Barnabas, Paul, right? And I read that, like the Lord's bringing that to me, and he's saying, Stacy, this is a transforming, life-changing event. I'm putting you on a new journey. And I need you to fast, because he told me all week, fast, and now I got the answer the other day. But now things are ramping up spiritually, and hard to understand. I'm just trying to let you guys know how to pray for me, and also about this announcement, because it affects everything. I have been wow. Tennessee was explosive. I had a lot of encounters with a lot of different people. And one of the things that kept coming up is Starry. Everybody knew me, Starry. We had this encounter with this lady in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee. She worked, actually, here, let me turn this morning. She actually, we went to go see a lady at a lifestyle center. She worked there, older lady, awesome lady, little black lady. I think her name was Constance. And when we walked in, she had a helper there, but I don't know her name, but she was a little Haitian lady from Haiti. So to make a long story short, we greeted each other, and then I went back into the kitchen where she was washing the dishes, and she looked at me, and she's like, "Are you Starry, Hilder?" And I'm like, here I'm in the middle of Tennessee, nowhere, and here's this lady from Haiti, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Starry, Hilder." And she's like, oh, I ran upstairs with my phone when you first came in and you introduced yourself, and I thought that was you. And I looked at my phone, and it was you because I saw your video, and I came down, and she said, I've been watching you for years in Haiti. And now she's in Tennessee. And it was crazy, crazy. So Isaac, the young man who owns Echo Valley, they do sustainable living classes. I think the last one they had over 100 people. This was in, I think, Clifton, Tennessee, I believe. It's about 2 hours from Nashville. So, just a hub, right? The hub of people really moving and the self-sustainable movement. That's where homesteading really is the heart of. I believe that in Tennessee and Georgia and all of those states. And I have so many people that know me there from, the conferences that I did. And so Isaac's like, wow, I didn't know you were like Starry, HILDER. And he's, I didn't know you had all those people who were following you. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And there's another older lady who then we went to, she came, and her name was Nance. And to make a long story short, she ended up coming to Echo Valley for a tour. This Scott, he's got a heart for ministry, him and his wife, and they are building outposts all over the United States and Brazil. And so they invited me and Chris to tour the place with Isaac and this lady, Nancy, who was just curious about, checking it out. And so when I was touring, I started talking about all the things that I know about. It's just natural for me to talk about finding water, how to garden. I talked about, the firewood. They were talking about, having a wood stove. And the lady looked at me and she's like, who are you? Where did you come from? She says, this is crazy. You were like the 11th hour worker. And because she couldn't believe that I hadn't been a Christian very long and I hadn't really been in the faith very long. And she was stunned. And she's like, you are so awesome. I mean, the way she was talking, she's like, the stuff that you know. She says, you need to get out there and talk to people about that. You need to share what you know. And I told her I had a channel. And she's like, yeah, but you need to share. And Isaac is there. And then Isaac is like, because he's in charge of Echo Valley Farms, or Echo Valley Outpost, I think it's called. He's like, we got to get you. We got to get you here. We have a sustainable class coming out, up a country living class. And we have like 100 people, sometimes even more. He says, you got to come and teach your stuff. He says, this is what people need. We have lots of speakers coming, but we need you. So, I was, definitely humbled and taken back. And then, so, I thought, yeah, me and Chris kind of looked at each other and I thought, wow, okay. And that happened was when I met Scott's wife, we went out for dinner, me and Chris and Scott, who builds all these outposts. Finally met his wife. He's like, you're going to love her. She's just like you. And when we sat down at the restaurant, she looked at me and she's like, I know you. And I'm like, you do? And she's like, yeah, I've been watching you for years. And she just got all choked up. She like almost started crying. And I didn't realize the impact I had on this whole sustainable movement and people's lives. And it's big, it's huge, it's big. So it really made me get on my knees and ask the Lord, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to start teaching again? Do you want me to go out there on the circuit, so to speak, and give classes about sustainable living and teaching people homesteading and off-gridding? And the Lord put it on my heart and said, yeah, I need you now. I need you now. So the big announcement is I will be in Tennessee doing a self-sustainable, with Chris actually. We were both invited. This is how cool God is. He's still pairing us up. And instead of just having me, they actually invited both of us to teach a class. We're teaching an immunity boosting class. We're utilizing our medical missionary expertise, our background, our skill set. So I'll put a link on this on this description box. If you want to sign up for the class, you want to show up, please do. We're going to be there. There's going to be lots of speakers there. Even if it's a couple hour drive, come. It's going to be a big event. This place has been hosting self-sustainable country living seminars, and people are coming out in droves, and we expect big things. You know, you talk about the homesteading conferences, but you know what? This is just as big. It's just as big, and you're going to learn a lot. You're going to, oh, look at that sun. So I'm going to be there. There's going to be a lot of other speakers there. They've done it before. They're very professional and efficient. They do a great job. They've been doing this for a while, and me and Chris will be there. And we'd love for you to come join us and be watching. I'm also going to be at, I think, a Presbyterian church, a local Presbyterian church, giving a seminar with Chris. And later on, we'll be coming back to Tennessee for the winter months, but later on, we are going to be going out to Idaho pretty soon, and we're going to be making the circuit in Idaho, teaching the classes. And I think one of the other places will be in Orofino at another lifestyle center. And they really wanted to talk to us about coming out there and spending time in the future to also teach self-sustainable classes. It's crazy. But again, I need prayers. Chris needs prayers because I'm at a crossroads right now, and I'm announcing that. And I need prayers. We both need prayers because I'd love to see you in Tennessee, and I'd love to see you in Idaho, and we both would love to see you. And these outposts, we would love to keep teaching and have a ton of people. And you know, we have an opportunity to run a lifestyle center where we're not charging $5,400. You know, there's so many great plans coming, and we want to be able to go forward with that. So anyway, I'm excited, and again, in the description box, and give me some feedback. Let me know if you're coming. Email me at starryhilder@gmail.com. And the sun is coming up.